Happy Saturday, everyone.
What's up,
Dr. T,
everybody? What's
Dr. T,
up?
what's going on? You missed
Y-
me in the studio in the pod last week, huh?
Listen, y'all, she left me 2 weeks in a row. I was out here dangling, y'all. I was
You know
dangling.
what? So last week actually was the first time I listened to the show from beginning to end.
Did you?
When we're here, I go back and listen, but I listen to certain parts.
Okay.
But you did an awesome job last Saturday. I'm gonna pat you on the back. Can we get a little pat on the
I'll
back?
take that. Yeah,
You
'cause you
handle
looking
it.
out for me.
You did. And shout out to your business partner.
Yeah, Brandy,
Yeah.
Brandy Mason. Yeah,
Brandy
so
did an awesome job. You guys flowed
yeah.
together.
Shout out
I
to all
actually,
things mental health.
yeah, I,
Come
I
on.
actually enjoyed the it was therapy for me, you
Good.
know.
You get enough of it. You know what,
Well,
y'all?
talking to you every day.
I'm gonna start billing her, y'all. I'm telling you. I need a little stipend or something.
It's so good that, when I don't pay for therapy right now. I'm saying right now. But,
Listen,
but
for all those that are listening, didn't I tell y'all free 99 was over? I told y'all that.
so it's a blessing to sit next to you every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., from 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. And then after 9 a.m., we go to breakfast and we have our powwow. We talk about
She
how the
bullied me,
show went.
y'all.
No,
She
no,
bullied me
no,
at breakfast.
no. And then also, the things sometimes when you, in certain stages in your life or things that you
Yeah.
do, work, personal, you have to be able to, what you say, feel, deal. And what's your,
So my three-part strategy is feel, deal, heal.
so feel, deal, and heal. So
Yeah.
every day, so feel, deal,
And
and
heal.
heal.
Yeah. So
So
you got to give yourself permission to feel.
so
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 that,
what- let me break it down the feel
okay.
part. So
Y'all, she being therapist today.
you
Y'all
got
see
to
this?
give
Yes.
yourself permission to feel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because feel is when I go to work every day. I'm I'm feeling when I go to work. I'm feeling. I'm dealing. Right? You deal with customers. You deal with life. Life happens, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then you heal is when I sell a car.
Let's start your healing.
Yeah, that's my healing. When I
Oh, okay.
put a customer in the car, that's how I heal.
Oh, okay. All right. That's your three-part
I'm solving
strategy.
problems.
You solving
I'm
problems.
solving
Is
problems.
that what
Why?
you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you brought up feel, deal, heal because oftentimes we don't give ourselves permission to feel.
Mm.
We don't allow ourselves to stay in the moment. There is not one feeling that God has given to us that is a bad feeling. It's nothing. God does nothing that's not purposeful.
So God,
Everything He does is intentional.
so God never makes a mistake.
No,
When you
He
go
can't.
through something and you think you at your lowest and you don't know how you got there, you,
It's not the feeling per se. It's what you do when you feel those feelings. How do you deal with
mm,
them?
yeah. Well,
So
so how do you deal with them,
it
right? What do
depends
you
on
do?
what the feeling is. So if you, for instance, if you're feeling sad, you have to ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling sad? Is it the environment? Is it something happened? Something in my life has
Is it a
happened?
trend,
Well,
or is
something.
this something that happened happening for 10 years? Are
Well,
you are this
sometimes.
are you this are you down this same path?
Well, it just depends. So if you're talking about, you have seasonal depression, you have people that go through different things in life because it's an anniversary or something. So it kind of depends on what's going on in your life will determine. So everybody is they individual. So no two persons are the same.
So no two persons are the
Oh, we
same.
got Donna Summers coming
No
out, y'all.
two persons are the
Listen, I wish y'all could see what I see in the studio because I mean the
same.
dancing that's going on. But
No.
what's up? So listen, so Regina brought out the field deal heal, but we're gonna talk about strategy today. So strategy is the word of the day. So let's talk about it, Regina. You came up with strategy. What's up?
So looking up strategy on Google. So it said the strategy is a general plan or set of plans designed to achieve specific goals, often over a long period. It
Hmm.
involves the skillful use of resources and tactics to gain advantage or succeed in various contents. So let me just put it out. When I look at strategy, I look at far as being in the automobile industry.
Hmm.
And being in the automobile business, we have to have a strategy. We have goals, we have monthly goals, we have daily goals. How many cars are we going to sell this week? How many customers do
Hmm.
we need to talk to? So we put together a strategy every month. Myself, I have to put together a strategy every day.
Okay.
How many people are going to talk to? How am I going to close this deal? What do I need to put together to achieve my goal that particular day? Because what happens sometimes, I always say that I have to make so many calls a day. It might be 25 calls that day, but my goal 2 or 3 times a week is to make at least 50 calls. Now, everybody doesn't always pick up. So I call, leave a message, send a text. And today's strategy right now, well, today's strategy the last couple of years has been people texting. Nobody wants to pick up the phone.
Mm. That's been a change. It's been a shift, and you
Yeah,
have to be able to shift with the shift, if you will. So
yeah.
when you said strategy to me, I had to really think about it. So strategy to me is intentional living because I'm a therapist and because I'm a Christian. That's
Mhm.
intentional living. That means I'm identifying my purpose, my values, and how it aligns with the goals that I
Mhm.
have in place. So who am I becoming? What am I called to do in this season?
Mhm.
How do I steward my time, my energy, and my relationships?
Mhm.
So it's about being intentional. When you talk about strategy, what's the plan?
Mhm.
Let's be intentional with it and how my day to day, like you talked about, you selling cars and you
Mhm.
have a plan and how many
I'm
people you need to
intentional.
touch.
Mhm.
You need to be intentional.
Mhm.
What am I doing in this hour that's going to help me, that's going to help better me? What
Are
am I
you being
doing?
intentional? Are
Yeah.
you being intentional?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
strategy. And what's your strategy?
Mhm.
So for all the listeners this morning, what is your strategy? What is your strategy? We got some powerful people that be on today. And that's the question. What is your strategy and are you being intentional?
Are you being intentional? So what I want to do, one thing I want to do this morning, I'm gonna give a shout out to our producer,
Yes.
Santi. We want to give you our condolences to you for your mom, and to let you know, we love you. We're there for you, and just know that you're not alone.
Yeah, definitely. We do want the Lucas and the Wins
Yes.
family to know that we are lifting you up in prayer and that we are here. So as the days and the months and the week, the weeks and the months go on, just know that you're thought about. Somebody's praying for you.
We got a little quiet right
Yeah. So,
there.
at that time, I mean, so for those that are listening, we all know that loss is something,
Yeah.
to go through loss. It has different facets that you go through. But this morning, we just wanted to take the time out to say, we see you, we love you, we're praying for you, and we are here for you.
And also know this, we know not the time of the hour when it's going to be our time, but
Yeah.
give your loved one their roses, their
Mhm.
flowers right now.
Yeah.
Tell them you love them.
Yeah.
You never know the last time you're going to see that person. So don't go out on a bad note,
Yeah.
especially with your loved one.
That's true. And the bottom line is be intentional. Be intentional with relationships. Be intentional with those that are in your life, those that you love, those that, God has placed in your life. Be intentional with letting them know how you feel and where you stand so they can take the guesswork out of that.
So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Sierra Cruda, the
Wh-
owner of that's
Delicious Sweets Bake
I
Shop
was
and
about to
Craving
say
Cookies.
something else. I was going to
Listen.
say author,
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Come on, keep the words coming. Author, entrepreneur.
Daughter and wife.
I almost said mother. Oh, I'm speaking as this a niece or a nephew.
Come on.
Because I was
I
about to say mother. I was
listen.
putting that right out there.
I buy a grandkid right about now.
She's not going to buy no grandkid. She going to
I'm
buy a
just saying.
grandkid. Ooh, no.
Listen,
That's in
listen.
the making in the
All right, well,
next year or two.
we'll be
We'll be
back
right.
with Sierra Crewed Up. Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up, Regina, the queen of Carlones, and Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, right in Waterford on Summit.
It's tax time, and we got 3 amazing offers for you.
Choose from 5 free oil changes,
$500 extra for your trade,
or $500 towards your down payment.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right, I can only process 25 of these deals per month.
Metro Detroit, don't wait.
Call or text 248-266-9875, 248-266-9875.
Yay.
Hey, we are back and we're with
Look, wait, you came back
Sarah.
with your Donna
Wait a
Summer
minute.
first. Come on.
That-
We are back.
We're back and we're with Sarah Crudup,
Come
the
on.
owner of Delicious Sweets, entrepreneur, author, wife, and soon to be mother in the next year or two.
Good morning, Cece.
Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. You know you were supposed to be in the studio, so we still trying to process that this morning.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to be going to breakfast right after, so I'm still trying to figure out how I can get in on this breakfast.
Uh, they late dollar
Not
short
this
player.
Saturday.
They
But
late
yeah,
dollar
we
short.
we have to we'll have to book that in soon.
Yeah, so stay tuned for part 2. So I'm excited about your topic today. Your topic is people are your greatest resources. Come on, let's get into that this morning.
Yeah, so this morning we're talking about people are your greatest resources. And I heard somebody say that maybe about 10 years ago, and I didn't really understand it until I seen it work in my life. But people are definitely your greatest resources. A lot of times you meet people, you network with people, and I truly believe that it's important to cultivate those relationships. I mean, think about it. If you're looking for um, a plumber. Sometimes we get on Facebook and we put, hey, recommend a good plumber. So whoever recommends that plumber, it's beneficial for the plumber and for the person who was the person who recommended. So I just believe people are your greatest resources, and you're able to get further having people on your side.
Wow.
So I like that you said that because it's all about honestly looking into your Rolodex or looking into your phone and saying, who do you know? Especially people in
Yeah.
that particular field. I went through an incident at my mom's house and I had a sewer issue. And I went all around not thinking about who's in my network in that
Yeah.
line of work. And I actually gave myself a couple headaches about a couple days. It's because I did not look into my resources of who I know. So one of the things I want to say is that people need to make a list. If you have issues, make a list of your issues, right? And then find out who you can help. Who is
Mhm.
in that particular field that can help you.
Yeah. Giving a referral is your greatest asset. Like being referred to
Mm,
someone, that's like your greatest asset. Like if your name, what does your name, what kind of weight does your name carry? So for instance,
association.
Sierra, you just talked about if you needed a plumber, how people would go to
Mhm.
Facebook and things like that. But listen, if I need someone that's gonna stand up for me, whose face am I gonna see? Like who can I refer? Because a referral is like one of the greatest compliments to a person.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, you're right. Um,
go ahead. I'm
and
sorry.
I think about both of the times when I expanded the bakery. Both of those expansions came by way of being introduced through another person. And
Mhm.
it was about me being in the right place at the right time, but also being connected to people and getting into the marketplace and getting into the mall. I found out about those things through people.
Mhm. That's a mature attitude though, because I know so many people that refuse to want to really help people or want to be in alignment where you help me, I help you, I introduce you, is so that everybody can eat. So when you say people are your greatest resources, you have some people that don't want to be a part of a resource. And so let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that. Like this is a mature conversation this morning. You had to go through something to get to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I This subject came up not too long ago, and it was called gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
So, gatekeeping
Gatekeeping.
is basically when you have knowledge or you have resources or you know what to do, but you will not share that with anyone else because you want to keep it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do believe that some things maybe you shouldn't share everything, or you have to be selective with who you share certain things with. But when it comes to seeing
Yes.
someone go to the next level, I truly believe that no one should gatekeep.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny that you say that because when you being in sweets or the food, I want to say the food industry, right? Can I say would that be a good term? Say the food industry?
Yes.
Baking
So the
industry.
bacon industry, right? So you want someone when they think about bacon, you want them to think about Sierra queued up at Delicious Sweets, right? You want that to be the
Mhm.
first or the second thing that you think of. And I know that you have paved the way in Saginaw and also in the Pontiac area. But when I think about bacon or I think about sweets, I think about you, right? When I think about fundraisings, I think about you. So you have paved the way. You don't realize you have already put your footprint. You have already put you're already leaving a legacy without even having kids, right? It's because when I think of sweets, and I've talked to a couple people in the community, actually a couple customers this week, and they were talking about baking. And they say, you know what, where's Teresa's daughter? Where's Dr. T's daughter? I need to get this, I need to get what else said I need to get at her. I said you need to get at her. But they were thinking about you. So the first thing and the second thing they thought about was you. Okay, I just
Yeah.
want to say that.
Oh, good. I'm glad you wanted to put my name out there.
No, no, actually
I
that was
appreciate
toward
it.
no, that
I'm
was
saying,
actually toward
but
my
so
niece, not you. So stop taking all the credit.
so Sierra, you talked about gatekeeping, and so that's a really a newer word, a newer term that people are using, right? But I like
Yeah.
the fact that we're talking about this today because again, people are your greatest resources, and I've watched, and just like I've watched. A lot of kids in the community that's around your age or even younger than you who are entrepreneurs now or out here trying to do things on their trying to advance their business and people are not so quick to help them. So what I really
Yeah.
like about what you're talking about is that you have made it your kind of like your niche to help other people. You've even put it in a book. How can you get from A to B when you're, an entrepreneur? So this morning, talk to the listeners a little bit about why it's important that you don't gatekeep.
I think it's important that you don't gatekeep because if you think about it, there has been a time where you needed some help. And if it hasn't been, there's going to be a time where you're going to need some help. I think about other people in my industry, and I know they wouldn't mind me saying this, like Reggie Harris.
Mhm.
So,
Shout out
Reggie,
to
he
Reggie
calls
Harris.
me. Yep, shout out to Reggie Harris. If he needs something, he has a question about something, maybe he hasn't done it before, he'll reach out to me. And same thing for me. If I need something and he specializes in it and I don't, I will reach out to him. But
Mhm.
there's many people in our same industry who don't have that relationship because they feel like sharing information is taking something away from them.
Mhm.
So it's important, like I said, if you haven't experienced it before, at some point in time, you're going to need somebody to help you. And it would be great if you can go to someone that's in your back door, someone that you actually know, versus trying to find someone else.
Wow.
Who do you actually look up to? Because if you're not a gatekeeper, but who do you actually call if you besides someone that's in the industry, right? Someone that
Mhm.
has been in business maybe for years, somebody you look up to, or someone that's your mentor besides your mom.
This lady named Charlotte Kills, she's
Mhm.
in Flint. And I look up to her and I watched her for years and I didn't never know her. I never had met her, but I was Facebook friends with her husband and I watched her for years and she would get on Mondays and encourage women. And she would just give an encouraging word, uplift women. But when I got a chance to meet her, seeing her interactions with people, especially people she didn't know, it was so genuine and so pure, and she was willing to help people just off the strength of them needing help. And when I talked to her, and I said, I've been watching you for years, and I would love for you to mentor me. And she embraced me with open arms. You know, she had heard about me, but she didn't know me. But to meet someone who has a heart similar to mine and who's willing to help others and see where the need is and be open, I love that. So I absolutely look up to Mrs. Charlotte Keels from out of Flint.
Shout out to Miss Kill out of Flint. Shout out to her for being your mentor. But people don't realize when you can have a mentor and you can actually don't have to actually know that mentor because you have followed them and you read their
Yeah.
books or you go to their Facebook page or their social media or you just been following them for years. So to me, when I think about a mentor, it doesn't have to be someone that actually you have to really know. You could just be
Mhm.
following them,
Listen,
and
I
just
watch people all the
right.
time, especially those that are doing some of the things I like. So when I want to take my culinary skill to the next level, oh, I got some influencers that I straight up I watch, I follow, I'll get their cookbooks. I got some honorary aunties and uncles that don't even know me. And I get on their
So,
podcasts and stuff and be like, that's my auntie right there.
so what
Yeah.
so in other words, so Mel, she's coming on,
Yeah.
but she actually said, I mean, you gotta take them over here. You can't recreate the real.
Yeah.
You gotta steal from
Yeah.
here, there,
I
here, and
don't think it's
everywhere.
stealing. Like there's
Okay,
nothing
you gotta
new under
borrow.
the heavens.
You
So
gotta
I think like
you
I'll
don't want to
see
use the word
things
steal.
no,
Okay, so
because
you borrow.
stealing
You
like no,
don't
I ain't
recreate,
stealing.
right?
I
You don't
recreate. You don't have to
recreate.
recreate it. But what I love about it is when you see something, you put your own spin on it, right?
That's
You
right.
put your own
That's
spin
right.
on it. You may not have created it, but there's a spin that you bring that
Mhm.
nobody else can bring.
That's true.
And so what that's what I love about even this topic because even though people are your greatest resources, people you can gain something from everybody and use that to perfect what God is doing inside of you. So
So in other words, the bottom line is you don't have to recreate the wheel.
yeah, that's true.
Not everybody. Some people doing the same thing. They just got their different spin on it. That's
Listen,
just the bottom line.
it's a
People,
hundred.
but look, people cook, right?
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
okay, so people cook. People can cook, right?
Hmm.
I can cook. I can tea and cook, but
You said what now?
I can cook. I can, you see, I said that. I can cook. I can
Yeah,
tea can cook.
wait a minute.
But
Wait.
I,
Wait.
but
Wait. We not
Teacher
lying
Gina,
on the
what you
podcast.
cooking?
We ain't lying on the
I,
podcast. That's what we ain't doing.
well, what I do cook. I put in the air fryer. The air fryer cooks for me.
Amen.
But the thing
Yeah.
is
All
though,
right. Hallelujah.
you are you are I don't specialize in that, but I'm a cooker, so I do the same thing you do,
You're a cooker.
right? Every, like we all brush our teeth the same,
Yeah.
we all put our clothes on, right? But
Yeah.
we different. We use different toothpaste. Our
Yeah.
hair
We
may
just
look
different.
nicer than
Mhm.
someone else's. Our makeup may look different. Our clothes is different, but we put our clothes and do the same thing.
Yeah.
We're just putting our
The
own different
process
spin
is
on.
the same. Yeah.
Process the same,
See, Lou, why
right?
you got your head to the side like that? So listen,
Y'all funny.
listen though. Honestly, though, let's get back on subject.
No, I don't want to.
See. All right. Well, okay, Sierra. So tell the listeners if you had to tell those that are listening right now, one last thing, what would you tell them regarding people being their greatest resource?
I would just encourage the listeners to not be a gatekeeper. If there's some information or some knowledge or a resource that they have, to be open to sharing it, because what you give out will come back to you, and one day you're definitely going to need it.
Yeah, good.
What you give out. Say it
It's
again.
going to come back to you.
Say it again.
What you give out will come back to you.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
good. All right, Sierra, tell the listeners where will you be today? I understand you're having a pop-up shop today and you're going to be in the Pontiac area. Can you give listeners where you will be today and if you have additional desserts, what you got? How can they
Yes,
contact you? How can
absolutely. So I'm really excited today. I will be at MJ's venue. That's 454 North Telegraph in Pontiac. And I'm having a pop up shop. So I'll be selling desserts. I do have people that pre ordered, but I have extra cookies and cakes that I will be selling. Also selling my new book, Faith in Action, and I will be signing those. So if you're listening, if you're in the area, you're looking for something to do, stop by, say hi. I'm giving away free hugs and free signatures from 2 to 5 at MJ's venue.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop by, get my free hug, my free book I'm gonna pay for. Um,
Hey, so Sierra, how can they get in touch with you if they
you were
want to
cutting
get the
me
book?
off.
Yeah, because she got it,
She gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
It's
about to
time.
come to, I'm coming to breakfast.
You can't be here in 50, 20 minutes.
Listen, tell Sierra, tell the listeners how can they get in contact with you if they want to purchase a book or if they want to order some cookies or some sweets.
You can reach me on Facebook. My name is Sierra Crudup on Facebook. Also, Delicious Sweets Bake Shop on Facebook and Instagram. Again, that's Sierra Crudup or Delicious Sweets Bake Shop on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, we'll be right back with Pontiac District 1
Come on.
Councilwoman Melanie Rufford is
Rutherford.
in the house in the studio. We'll be
I'm
right back.
excited. See you later, see. Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hey, Metro Detroit, it's me, Tune Up, Regina, the queen of car loans, and Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, right in Waterford on Summit.
It's tax time, and we got 3 amazing offers for you.
Choose from 5 free oil changes
$500 extra for your trade.
or $500 towards your down payment.
But there's a catch, right?
That's right, I can only process 25 of these deals per month.
Metro Detroit, don't wait.
Call or text 248-266-9875, 248-266-9875.
Hi, it's Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet.
And I'm Joe Longhammer.
We're doing something special for tax season. You can get 5 free oil changes, or you can get an extra $500 for your trade-in, or you can get $500 extra for your down payment.
Regina can only handle 25 of these special deals every month.
Because I work personally on each loan to get the best deal possible.
When these 25 spots are gone this month, they're gone.
I'm Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and I'll get you approved. Come in and say, give me the queen, or go to the queen.
And we are back. Listen, we're so excited. We have our very own Pontiac City Councilwoman, like District 1, my district, Melanie Rutherford in the building this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. What up, though?
Good morning, good
Listen.
morning. What up, though,
What
to
up,
you?
Oh,
Yo,
listen.
this morning
You-
popping off,
I'm trying
Listen.
to.
looking good.
I tried
Long
to.
time coming.
Ain't
Listen.
it right? I've been waiting. Listen, man. I've been stalking y'all page. I stalked y'all individually. Regina showed me my car. You know, she's the first person that made me pay my car note on time.
All right. That-
I
You
mean,
listen.
say I made you. No, I didn't make you.
Yes, you did.
God told you what
God,
to do.
but she said, hey, you're
Listen,
gonna lose this.
You gonna lose that car if you don't pay it. Come on, that's
I ain't never
accountability
missed a
this
payment.
morning.
No,
But that was strategy, though.
Oh, man.
Told you the strategy.
so the car payment paved your way to be a homeowner, right?
Which is
So
what
you
we
got
And
the
you
car,
did that.
right? You
Come
made the
on.
payment, and you got your house, right?
Mhm.
So most
Yeah.
people don't do that. They don't listen.
Listen.
She was like, hey, you tired of renting? I said, yeah. I came and I said, when I get my stuff together, I'm coming to buy a car. That my white girl, Allison. I call her
Uh-huh.
good girl Judy. We was in there. I said, listen, I need you to give me half of it because I ain't got all of it.
Uh-huh.
So if I'm
Need you to help
lying,
me
Come
out.
on.
I need-
Good girl, Judy.
Good girl Judy. I said, sure, Melanie. I was like, great. So when I came and I was so humble, I got the car I wanted and I still have it. And I got one more year and it's being paid off.
Come
And then I'm buying
on.
another
now.
car. I was able to buy my house because of listening to her.
Yes.
And that's the
Listen.
number one thing people
Yes.
don't want to do is listen to people that know more than you.
Mm,
Because everybody want to be the leader. Nobody ever wants to be the follower.
that's
So
it.
that's the first thing people don't like.
Yes.
Yeah, probably the
Who
most
else?
controversial person on city council. Let's go. I'm
Listen.
ready.
Well, shout out to you, Regina, though, just dropping those nuggets. Because, like Mel said, you know, we drop nuggets all the time, but people don't pick them up. So when you got somebody say, you know what, I heard you, and I listen, and now this is the fruit of that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because now it's gonna be paid off in a year.
Yeah.
It ain't too many people who can say
I
that.
ain't never missed a payment.
Come
I
on.
ain't never missed.
Come on here, come on.
Paved the way.
Thank you,
paved the
Lord.
way.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
All right, let's get into
Come
this.
on, let's go, Regina. I know you got some questions.
Let's go.
Listen.
What do you want to know?
But first of all, let me tell you all, if you want to call in, you can call in to ask our very own Councilwoman questions. If you got a comment, call in today, 248-905-1128, 248-905-1128. You got our very own Pontiac City Councilwoman, Melanie Rutherford, in the building. Let's go.
What's your first question?
Well, so you know what? I want people to know a little bit about you because
Yeah.
you just did not just pop up on the scene to be a
Yeah.
councilwoman.
No, so this is what happened. I was born and raised in the city of Pontiac. I'm from a family of 13.
13 kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
literally.
9 sisters and 4 brothers.
What number are you?
I'm number 8. I'm always confused. And so
Number 8 out of 13.
when I was younger, I used to talk to trees. I still do because people don't know that being out in the earth is energy. And I was a kid that was always bullied. I was bullied most of my life.
But let me tell you this though. Fred made a comment a couple of months on Valentine's Day. We did a special, and he said if my wife could talk to trees, she would. And I turned to said I do because people don't understand that trees respond. Okay,
I
go ahead.
do. And I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I had a couple friends. I've been on my own since I was 17. And then I lived in the projects. But my grandma lived in the projects before, so I lived up there when I was younger. That's why I have such a
TJP.
strong affiliation for the projects, because when you come from the projects, there's a sense of loyalty.
Come on,
that
is.
nobody understands.
It was a city within
It's
a city.
within a city. And to this day, I love Lakeside because it taught me loyalty, responsibility, and it taught me to respect myself when we didn't allow disrespect.
Yeah.
As I got older, I went to college at Dillon University. I was on a full vocal scholarship. I couldn't read music. I lied, faked it to get into school. And then my first year after I went to school, my brother was extremely ill. He had Down syndrome. So I transferred to Kentucky State. When my brother died, right when I got back before I was going to go to school. And then I had the most amazing thing that ever happened in my life, my daughter, Mariah. Mariah truly saved me. And then I got a record deal. How I got the deal was my brother Crunch, shouts out to Larry McGee, gave me 5 racks. He was like, I'm never giving you no money again, so you better go do something. And Brian Killian and Gil Garrett, who at the time were trying to manage me, took me down to this event. They had cheated me out of the one at the Andrews. My brother was like, you still going? While I was walking up the hill, I met Redman. He didn't have no room. I said, well, you can come get in the room with me. And people think that was sexual. It wasn't. There was no rooms, and I was performing at the BET soundstage. So I said, Redman, give me 30 seconds. If you give me 30 seconds, I'm going to do my thing. I sang in 30 seconds. He gave me my first $50,000 a week later. 2 months after that.
Redman did, right?
Yeah, he's to this day. I just recently debuted on his last album, which was number 7 on the.
I saw that too.
Again, nationally. So then I got a record deal. I was working, but all the while I had never dealt with trauma. There's a book. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. So as I was able to be in successful rooms, I was self-sabotaged because nobody had ever taught me how to live off stage. And so when I got older, I started.
Wait a minute. When you say nobody never taught you to live off stage,
Yes.
what does that mean?
So I am a great performer, and I was never taught people skills, how to deal with people on regular, because I didn't deal with them. Singing was my defense mechanism. That's why I'm a beast at it. And I didn't allow people to get close to me. You had to really, I've known her most of my life. So you have to really know me to get close to me. Even to this day, I've gotten better, but I do not allow certain people to get close to me because I've seen broken people try to break me. So I'm extremely protective of myself. So when I was 31, I started on 27, I met Kim. Kim bought me a car. I wrote for Kim from 2000 and.
So wait a minute, you just saying Kim. See, people
Chemistry.
I know who you're talking
Kim
about,
chemistry.
but everybody don't
So
realize
I
who
met Kim. I
is.
was singing at the last Art Beats and Eats. I sang every year. He walked up to me. He said, "Can you write me a song?" I wrote him a song because I could write a song in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the longest it'll ever take me. God gave me that gift. So I started writing for him. I wrote this song called "If It's Love." It's the highest ranking soul he has on his. One of the highest
Can you
ranking
give us a
songs.
little bar?
If it's love, it lasts a lifetime. Deep in my heart, I know, baby. So wrote that song, got nominated for a Grammy. I thought I was gonna make it. It didn't happen. Did 2 albums, amazing albums. You Got Mail in 2005 that I did. Relationships, My Own Words. Oh, that's my boyfriend calling. I call him back. So anyway, then life happened. I had a great publishing deal. I moved out of Pontiac. I felt like I made it. I wasn't coming back because I had a love-hate relationship with this city because there were times when this city didn't love me the way I loved them. And so I lost everything. and I had to come back here, and I moved on Thorpe Street. And the city I had a love-hate relationship was broken, and I was broken. Started going to therapy at the Haven because I didn't have insurance, and started my journey of healing. And then in 2017, the previous mayor tried to get me arrested because I hit a pothole and it messed up my brand new car I just got from another record deal. And I went up to try to talk to him about is they gonna repair my car. And that night they were doing announcements about who's running for what. And she had 3 police officers come around me. And I said, do you know what you just did? And nobody knew what I meant by that. I said, because you've done this, I got you. And every time I see you, I'm gonna bring you business. But what don't nobody know is my my major was political science, music education, because I wanted to be a lawyer. That's why Mariah is about to become a lawyer, my daughter.
Amen.
So then I
Shout
got
out Mariah.
I like her. She all right today. So then I got on the library board and I did my thing there. I was gonna actually run for city council in 2017, but I wasn't ready. So fast forward to 2021, I looked around at the district I love. The South Side has been amazing to me. And
South Side. I grew up on the South Side.
I said,
Come on.
the realest
Yeah,
district.
come on, South Side.
Listen, the realest district ever. They get you
Yeah.
together.
Mhm.
I said, I'm going to run. When I said I was going to run, I didn't have any support but one person. That was Lee Jones. And he said, can you do it? And I said, yeah. And I fundraised and I worked. If you've never seen my first campaign, get ready for it. I did everything because I understand you have to be out in the open. And so I won. Throughout my career as a council person, I'm not even a politician, but as a real chick that's in politics, that's what I call myself. I've had tremendous losses. I've lost my father. I lost my stepfather. I lost my best friends. They all died within 2 years. I had a breakdown in 2023 because it's overwhelming to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. And if you know me, my nickname is Mel, and they call me that because I always deliver. And when you're different and you're outspoken and you're a woman, and I'm not playing that card to be light, when you're a woman, people are not comfortable with women who are outspoken. People are not comfortable with women who ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of white, black, blue, brown, and yellow.
So you know what that leads in.
Let's go.
Piggyback on that. What she just said.
What part?
The
'Cause I
last
was
part.
listening. So when you are, she was saying when you are a woman, or especially when you're not afraid, people don't like that because sometimes it poses a threat.
It does.
Because people don't know, in this field, especially politics, or even because it's not a favorable field for women, if you will. Just like the car business is not a favorable field where you see a lot of women. So sometimes people can feel intimidated because you do have a voice, because you do have opinions. So you're going to have people that are not going to like you as an individual because of what you bring to the table. So you asked me to piggyback about that. That's just the way the world works. If you remember the song, This Is a Man's World, we still live in a society that believes that. And so now you have women coming in who are strong, who are powerful, who have a voice, and they're not always received
or respected.
And
then the other thing is sometimes you got to piss people off to get stuff done.
Let's talk about
And-
that.
okay,
What
let's
does that
go.
mean?
So when
Great segue.
Okay, great. You better go.
Yeah.
So I am unapologetic when it comes to District 1. I want
Okay.
it. If you look at my yearly report, I always put this up. I send this out. It tells you about getting streets done. I've done that. Every street we talking about Bagley, Franklin.
Thank you for Bagley, because I
welcome.
was tired of my
You
car
welcome.
getting towed up.
And I was tired of it too.
Well, Bagley got done. How I look at it, I don't live in the city of Pontiac, y'all. Bagley needed to get done, but Bagley is where you got the Bowen Center where the seniors are, and then you also got the funeral home.
Yeah.
right across the
Yeah, but
street.
come on up
So you
the
got
street.
two-
Rockwell,
Rockwell,
Old
all
Stove.
of
Come on,
them.
keep
Yeah, that's
on
right,
going
that's
up
right,
before you
that's
get to the
right. You got
golf
the golf
course.
course
Golf
right
course.
You know,
there.
you can,
Corner,
but all
right?
those streets,
Yeah.
Crystal, Lake, all them
Yeah.
streets right there, we was
Mhm.
tearing our cars up.
Right. And there's nothing. Golf Drive was done, right?
Mhm,
So
yeah.
you look at that. Then you look at all of the social things I do. Most council people don't do what I do. I had a coat drive every year until I got so attacked at a council meeting where 3 elderly women, that just one of them was a former council person, talked about me and called me whores, talked about me and said I was unfit, I was unstable. And what they didn't know is that the mic was still on. So
Mhm.
60,000 people heard them say these. And one of the ladies who talked about me is actually running in District 6
Mhm.
and dogged me. because I was different, because I believe in decency and in order.
Well, let's wait, Mel. So let's hit that though. You heard someone that was on a microphone say that you were unstable and you were unfit. As a leader, as a woman, as someone who was dealing with even trauma in the past, how did that affect you?
So the realest thing that happened was I ain't say nothing till she said something about my mama. I said, listen, man, I don't care what you think, that's my mom. My mom did the best she could with what God gave her.
Come on.
My mom was a minister's wife in a time when it was not comfortable to leave your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And things happen. And God has healed me from a lot of things. The things that I got to get healed from now is more so me, because he's done the heavy lifting. I could have been crazy in my mind. I mean, I was raped from age 8 to 18, like real talk. Like I went through everything. The person I lived under the Phoenix Center while I was pregnant with my daughter. I don't talk about it because I'm not a victim, but
Amen.
I know how, when you've been taught how to be a manipulator, it's your choice to be that person, and I'm not. I just live out loud and proud, so it pisses off people in my seat that I'm in now, because you can't play with me. You can't come to me and play a con and say I can't pay my bills. I learned how you too, so it's sometimes it's hard,
So, Melanie, how do you deal with how do you deal with the issues and things that go on that are surround you? Because you're telling me how the people, with the mic being on and the things that they said, or just the things that people say.
So I didn't deal with.
How do you deal with the criticism?
So sometimes it's really hard because I love people hard and I want to be liked, but I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? I want to be liked, but I don't care if you don't like me. You understand what I'm saying? And what happened was I allowed things to get to the point of where I exploded. And that's what you saw on the tape. And I want to explain that to a lot of people. So there's a story, people put it out, wasn't true, didn't care. However, the person that put the story out was the mayor, Tim Grimel, and a lady, Rachel Lauren, because previous to that, the building department was treating African Americans and minorities unfair, so much that I asked them to do an investigation on them. And so what happened was, when this individual knew he wasn't running, he sees me as public enemy number one, because if you go to every council meeting, I'm one of the only ones that holds him accountable, because a lot of people are scared of white people or scared of different nationalities because they've been taught to be submissive.
Timid.
That ain't me. And so when that happened, he announced that he wasn't running June the 23rd. The story came out June the 26th. They called me 10 days later. My opponent was calling people 20 days, telling everybody, hey, she needs to drop out the race before this happens. That didn't happen. Then at the meeting, I gave the Mayor Grimel what he asked for, because I said he had hired someone that I had said he shouldn't have hired. Out of respect for being a Black woman, I won't snare them down. But he made a comment about me, and I said something about him. I was loud, and I was wrong for the comment. I wasn't wrong for the context. It was the way I did it. So the following week, I didn't come to council because I was mentally drained. They had posted all these stories about me. People had told me just go kill myself. They were doing things like, I could show you emails, and it's a particular group of Caucasian people in District 2. They called me out and tell me to go kill myself and tell me just really horrible things. And so the council decided, because I was loud and I didn't come back in order, and they were within their rights to do this part, that they were going to do a letter for sanction. The problem is nobody told me. So I was at home watching it, and me being me, I had enough.
So in other words, they have to let you know before they file.
They should have. I feel like
to notify you.
They should have. It should have been on, but it wasn't. And so I went up there after the council meeting was over, and I said, who did it? I asked each person, and William Carrington said it needed to be done. Now, this is the same president pro tem that could have told me, but he didn't. So I asked Mikhail, and he said some words. I said some words, and I snapped because I had suppressed it for so long, because I take the brunt of the criticism on city council because I'm the most outspoken on city council, and I lost it.
Let's talk about that though, Mel. Let's talk about you're losing it, because now people are saying, and we've read a lot of things, and I'm a person that I judge you on character. I judge you on who you are. I'm not listening to anybody else's, any other person's thought process and their narrative. But let's kind of talk about that. You said you snapped, and so people look at you as being a loose cannon sometimes. What is that?
So I'm not a loose cannon. What happens is, you can't play with me about certain things.
Mhm.
And
So we know it's your mom.
my mom, my daughter is.
Oh, Mariah is really number one.
So we were asked to not post a certain thing as council. It was said on the floor. This person kept posting it. My daughter is friends. She saw it. And then there was a speech that was made. My name was in it. And and my thing is, if you do something, I wouldn't do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've not been charged with anything. I've not been
Mhm.
nothing. But it was done as a smear tactic because there are certain people in this community that want me gone because I'm the reason why they can't get what they want. And that's not no rumor, that's factual. And people know this in the community. They know there are certain people that work in certain fields, pastoral included, that don't like me because I won't be their guinea pig and I won't be their yes man. And so when that happened, that's why I snapped. It was a combination of everything that was going on around me. And then my pastor, which is shouts out to Pastor John Tolbert, I called him. I said, listen, they got me on tape. He said, what happened? I told him what happened. He said, don't let this be your procession.
Mm-hmm.
Make it your parade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you something that people don't know this. That's the first time in my life I ever seen myself that angry. I'd never seen it displayed. I was always told I had it in me. And so shouts out to our council president, Mike McGinnis. He said, there's counseling available. And what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I want to go to anger management.
Good. That was a good move.
And I knew it because my anger was imploding on me.
Well, shout out to Mike
Mike
McGinnis.
McGinnis, yeah.
And then not-
as a just now, and you listening to him
Yeah.
by
Absolutely.
doing that.
Yeah.
And then not only that, I said, I got to get a new therapist because this ain't working what I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a new therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a lot of so-called friends, people I had helped pay their bills, helped them get housing. I'd done a lot of things for. I watched them throw me away. And it was the most beautiful thing because I had to ask God to step in a way I'd never had before. I'm a PK for real. People don't know. My father was a minister. But this is the first time in my life I said, God,
Preacher's kid.
I was
Is
preaching.
that what that is?
I said, God, mercy. I can't do this. I called Pastor Gibson,
Antonio.
Antonio.
Yeah. Shout out to Antonio
He
Gibson
said,
this
Shout
morning.
out to my classmate.
Listen, the realest pastor, him and Pastor John Tolbert saved my life. I didn't think I was going to make it. And Gibson told me what to do. He said, you're going to say Psalms 35. You're going to pray every day. But my church family protects me because they know me.
Amen.
And they know my heart. But this is what you don't, and I'm spiritual, and I got baptized when I was younger, didn't understand, but I got baptized in November.
You did.
So I knew all of this was coming.
So how did you feel? So when you got baptized again, how did you feel after you
I felt
got baptized?
I
How
felt-
was it different?
because it was real.
Rebirth.
It was a rebirthing. I asked God to remove the hatred I had in my heart for things I couldn't control. I asked God to learn me to have the spirit of discernment on a different level. I asked God to remove anything and everything, including my mindset, so I can be better. So when you ask God for that, it has to happen. This is you know what my biggest fear was, Regina, was being put on display. And when it happened,
yeah,
there was nothing I could do. but
So when
walk
you say
through
put
it.
on display, because you are in the position you're in, even when you were singing, even being a community person now, you already on display.
But not in the way that this was done.
that was exposure.
That was exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So
the difference.
okay, just really quickly. So the devil told God that if you take your hand off Job, he gonna curse you. So I am in a Job season where I'm being tested and tried in every area of my life. I thought I had cancer, had to go through that. I literally have been sick for 6 weeks, going through that. I lost weight, going through that. But if I did not have my friends, and I have the most
Amen.
amazing man God sent me in my life, who told me God is about to heal you from caring about other people's opinions. And that is what has hindered me, because you want to be accepted. People can lie and say they don't.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
lying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
They're
want everybody want to be
lying. They
accepted.
They want to be
They're lying.
validated.
They want to
and
be validated.
accepted.
Yeah.
But God validates you.
That's the word.
Amen.
And I watch people get mad over money when all they got to do is do the right thing.
Yeah.
I watch people get mad over position. So let's say God say, Mel, this is it for me. As hard as that would be, I would say, I trust you, God.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because it's something coming better. But when I leave, if God says I'm not supposed to be here, no one will ever say I didn't do my job as a council person. Because I work my ASS off.
Yeah.
and I serve people who don't even like me. I serve.
Well, let's talk about that. So let's talk about your plans for District 1. What does
Man.
that look like?
All right. Well, first of all, I now have part of District 7 in my district.
Come
So I'm ready for
on.
Charles Lane.
So they
Come on,
merged.
I'm
Charles
ready
Lane.
Listen.
They merged you.
Yes.
Two
So
districts?
these people wrote this charter. Certain people had certain agendas while they wrote it because they wrote it to tailor to them. See, I ain't like everybody else. I ain't gonna sugarcoat. It was wrote to
Well, we
tailor.
definitely know that. You're
Yeah.
not sugarcoating nothing.
Yeah, it was wrote to tailor to them
Mhm.
because they wanted Mike McGinnis and me gone,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't count on Mike McGinnis running for mayor,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't count on me because, really, and it's because they feel like I owe them something. But let me tell you about the plans. First of all, Art Dunlap is about to get done. That is the only park in District 1 that is getting done this year. And I'm gonna tell you why really quickly. It's getting done because in December, when we were giving out money for small business grants, there wasn't another round. So me, President Mike McGinnis, and Pro Tem Carrington sacrificed and said, we're not gonna do both parks in our district. We're going to do one park, and we put an additional $750,000 for small business grants to get approved. That's important to me. Secondly, what I'm going to do, we're getting MLK done. What they like to spread misinformation. Let me tell you what it is. It's a process to get a $10 million, $18 million bridge totally tore down and repaired. Number three, you're
So
gonna
wait, let's back up. So, because that's still being done, right?
Mhm.
But they moved everything to the Phoenix Center. So how would you start on the bridge and then you move everything to the Phoenix Center and you haven't even completed the
So
bridge?
that is not true at all.
Okay.
Number one, the bridge had to be done by engineers. It starts in July. The Phoenix Center money we don't own the Phoenix Center. The county owns the Phoenix Center.
Got it.
Two, the county got money from the state. We didn't get money from the state. Three, the county put in money. We did not. It was always going to be the Phoenix Center first.
Gotcha.
I said the park, Lord. The bridge couldn't get done until we had all the specs and stuff done. And it's getting done this year. That's what people are trying to run on, saying, you didn't finish the bridge. You know, they know the truth. They just don't
Yeah.
want to tell y'all that
Well, we might not know because I don't live in Pontiac, even though I'm born and
I
raised
know.
here, right? And this is my community, but I didn't know.
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't know why that happened.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know because they just don't know.
And also, they like this. People like to be the author of confusion, Miss
That's
Regina.
the enemy.
The author, no, people.
Yeah, but the enemy, is the
in them.
author.
So I'm gonna give you an example. It was this big controversy because they were like, "Hey, Melanie coming after all black, small black businesses." Or let me tell you the truth. Before I was in office, people didn't pay their taxes and were serving and having contracts with this city.
Mm.
It's unacceptable. You couldn't do that anywhere else. So I said, "Hey, man, how we got these people running these youth programs and they ain't got no insurance, and we not listed on the youth on their insurance if they do have it as a what's the word you put when you have somebody on the insurance to make sure they covered? I want to say the word right, where it says them as an individual and the city as a whole,
Mhm.
because we don't have a location that's destined for the youth programs. So when I did it,
Mhm.
I
Have it.
confided in an individual who I thought was my friend. She went around and told everybody that I was coming after their business.
Mm.
That's why all this started. So then I got a call, and I'll say he did this. Kermit was like, "Hey, Mel, this is too intense. We need to work on something different." So then I talked to Michael and Carrington and the mayor, even though he'll never acknowledge that I did this. And we came up with a plan to make payment arrangements. That's how people are able to do, but you still have to have insurance and you have to pay your taxes. Because I owe for my taxes, I'm paying on the payment plan. So if I got to pay, you got to pay.
I
That's
definitely got the
Well,
part.
but see, that's the problem. People don't realize that you can have payment. If you owe somebody, talk about a payment plan.
Yeah.
You didn't get anything out this whole interview. Get a payment plan if you owe somebody or you owe taxes.
But that's the thing. People want to be on Facebook and fly for y'all.
Mhm.
I'm
That's
broke.
true.
When I'm broke on Monday, I'm still fly. When I'm
Okay.
broke on Tuesday, I'm still fly. Because my title don't make me, God makes me. Because God, man appoints, but God anoints.
That's
And I
it.
know that people have those little saying, it's real. It's like you.
That's the
You're
Bible.
beautiful. People are intimidated because you fly. I was intimidated by you once a time. I have a girl named LaKayla that does my nails.
You
eyes
know,
on YouTube.
Kayla.
But-
Shout out to Kayla.
Man, I wouldn't talk to her because I was intimidated by her.
Really.
And then one day I said, "Cause I love you." Sonya May, I steal all her poses, period. And she knows that. I said, if one day I said, "Look, I steal everything you do. Thank you." I said, "Thank you." And that's the thing. Even people that I don't rock with no more, I don't have to, I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't have no gate. But when you come with me, you can't con and con, man. My daddy was so cold, because he was a preacher too. Remember this? He could convince you the sky was orange. And you would go out there and look and say, is that sky really orange? So that's in me. I just don't do it. But I also have the gift of gab. And so when you have the gift of gab and you're boisterous, it's
All politicians have the gift of
yeah,
gab.
but I better gift of gab before I got. I better
But
listen.
you know what? One of the things that the previous person, Sierra, had said, that people are your greatest resources. You have dropped some names today. You have dropped Kayla's name. You have dropped Sophia's name, Sonya's name, Mike McGinnis' name. So just talk to us about some of the people that you partner with to make sure that District 1 is getting to where it needs to be.
Well,
A
my number one
success.
partner is Haley Stevens.
All right, shout out
That's
Haley.
my
Haley.
dog.
Haley.
So I couldn't find a room for my daughter's graduation. You know where I stayed at? Haley's condo. My daughter needed a job when she got out of Congress, when she got out of Howard. She graduated Howard University 2022.
Come on, 22.
Haley got her job. I said, Haley, we need more money for this bridge. We got.
Wait, don't tell everything, because we have some haters watching.
I don't care. I got.
I knew you.
I live at 92 Augusta. What up, though? I'm still that girl. Anger management hasn't healed that. Don't get it twisted. And I have sisters. Okay, anyway, and cousins and nephews. James Keys Jr. Okay, so anyway.
Literally.
Shout out to James Keys.
Yes,
James
come
Keys
on,
Jr.
Junior.
You don't even know.
Go ahead.
I'm related to them.
Go ahead. Go
We
ahead.
pop out on the show.
Pastor Chris.
Pastor
Come
Chris.
on, Pastor.
His kids, my nieces and nephews.
on.
They don't even like me, but I still love them. Let's go.
I
So anyway,
definitely knew this.
yes, everybody, it's okay. They don't like me. I'm cool. I like them though.
Wait a minute. Give me some.
I do this
Give me
stuff.
some. Give me
Yeah,
some.
yeah. Touch me if you want to. So anyway, this is the thing. Haley Stevens is my biggest ally. That's why she endorsed me. And even after the crazy stuff that came out in the newspaper, she still endorsed me. You know, Mike McGinnis, it's not just that he's the council president, he's my friend. I also do. Brenda Lawrence is when Brenda Lawrence got me together so bad one day, you never saw me act up except 3 years. Now she's mad at me right now, but she'll be back. You know, it's okay. I have Velma Stevens. She basically runs the South Side. The late great Jesse Stevens every week got me together.
Yes.
Claudia Buckley.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
My mama when I want to listen. My sister Marsha when she's in prison. She'll tell me, I'm just being real. The
Yeah.
problem is people don't want to acknowledge and give people their flowers. But I also don't
Amen.
sugarcoat.
That's
Kermit Williams, even though we on the odds right now, he's a heavy influencer with my life. You know what I'm saying? I've called you like, hey, cuz if you don't pray for me, it's gonna go bad.
Can you pray now?
I said,
Yeah.
I said,
I mean,
can you pray right now?
Right now.
I'll call. I admire Regina. And I'm not just saying this is on show because you know if I don't like you, I tell you I don't like you.
We already know.
We
There
know
are other
this.
people, but here's the thing I want to talk about. And we forgot to mention when that happened and all that happened. I sincerely apologize again to the council because I disrespected them, but I did disrespect Mikhail. He didn't deserve that, and I'll constantly try to restore that and heal it, and then it'll probably never be the same. But I was wrong, and I have been wrong. And I have made mistakes. But sometimes people lie on me because they want attention. And they also want a bag. What they want you to do is say their name on the diocese so they can sue the city. That's why I never say their name. Just so you know why I don't respond. I never say their name because they want a check. I ain't giving you a check. Go get a job.
Yeah. And so, I appreciate, like I said, the ownership and you taking accountability and saying, I apologize, because we make mistakes. We say things, we do things that are not always the right thing. But when you can say, I apologize and take accountability for yourself, then guess what? That's maturity. That's leadership.
That's facts.
So I want the viewers, I know we don't got that much more time, but I really want the viewers and the listeners to really hear your heart this morning. Where we going?
We're going all the
In
way
2
up.
minutes. In 1 minute.
So this is what's going to happen. District 1 is going to be the most abominable district again. Number 2, we're going to get a youth center. Stop listening to the haters. They only saying that because they need this as a soundbite for them to run. Number 3, we're going to create more jobs, more sustainability. Number 4, Oakland County is not coming in here to take over. It's a partnership. And if they tell you
Amen.
that, it's a lie from the gates of hell. Number 5, I am pushing for Black-owned businesses, white, Puerto Rican. I want everybody to win. Number 6, I think mental health needs to be the number 1 priority of the next administration because we have too many people walking around that are hurt because hurt people hurt people. Number 7, if God allows me to be the city councilwoman, I will listen more and talk less. I will be effective in my change. I will always have my doors open. My number is 248-758-3017. And lastly, instead of praying on me, can you just pray for me?
Oh,
Amen.
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 Amen. Pray for you.
Amen.
Amen.
John Tolbert, Trinity. Oh, happy anniversary. It's his anniversary today, too.
Happy
Yeah,
anniversary.
Happy
anniversary.
Shab.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Yeah,
So we
and
want-
Lady Shine. Yeah.
So we want to thank you for finally joining us in person. You
Yeah.
could have came in through the internet, but you chose to come in person. So
Yeah.
it's always good to see you
I
in
love
person.
y'all. And
I
I mean
love
it.
it.
Yeah, we love you too.
And
I
I mean
love
it.
that you always show up though.
Yeah.
When I say
And you
always show up,
real.
I mean you real.
Yeah.
You back what you say.
Yeah, that's why I say if you don't believe nothing else, go get this end of the year Pontiac District
Yeah.
1.
How can they get
report.
it?
Well, they can have one for me. And also, we have one more thing. I forgot to talk about this. We have the District 1 cleanup is next weekend. We got t-shirts. I'm going to provide some food, the pizza. It's going to be amazing. It's 7 locations. I need everybody there. And my District 1 meeting is the last Saturday of every month. This will be the last month that it's going to be at the Alley Cat. The new place and location will be the Sunset Bar that's owned by Ronnie McNair and Mona Lisa Saloy. So after this month, our new meeting location for our District 1 will be at the Sunset Bar and Grill. And the last one today, the last one is April the 26th. Oh, and I have a self-defense class. Everybody can sign up for it. It's free. And then the best thing ever, May the 3rd, the Mother's Day brunch, the masquerade Mother's Day brunch / birthday party. I'll be 46 years old. We're going to celebrate Mardi Gras style, period.
Well, shout out to Ronnie
Shout out.
McNair and Mona Lisa
Mm-hmm.
Sunset Boulevard. So shout
Mhm.
out to
I
them.
said it
Ronnie,
right. Thank you.
Ronnie McNair of the Four Tops. Yeah, so yeah, shout out to that. They got some good things, great things going
I
on
love you, man.
Sunset.
I love
Yeah,
them.
so yeah.
You ever see Ronnie sing for real?
Come on.
Talk
All the
about
time.
Did my-
Pontiac.
Ronnie McNair did my jingle.
Wait a minute.
So
Talk
we
about Pontiac.
Hey.
That's how you gotta say. You gotta say, talk about Pontiac. Y'all can do it. Come on, y'all know y'all want to do it.
You
Y'all
the singer.
talking about
Pontiac.
Pontiac. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
One more time
Yeah.
for the road. Talking about
Pontiac.
Pontiac. Hey,
One more time.
One more time. It's the goal.
Talk about Pontiac.
Y'all better shout out to Ronnie McNair. Yeah, Mona Lisa. Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
All right. Well, happy Saturday, everybody. Thanks for tuning
Yes,
in, and
yes.
we'll see y'all next week.
Yes.
Same time, same
Have a
place.
good week.
Bye, y'all.